If this happens, if this happens, a lot of Chelsea fans are going to be very, very happy. They've already tried to approach Ethan Wanieri, and he's just signed a new deal at Arsenal. But they still are on the lookout for a creative midfielder and a wide player. It looks like Jackson to leave Chelsea is now a real strong possibility. Do they need him? Well, they've got João Pedro and they have got Liam Delap, and they probably could command a very big fee in today's market. Eberechi Eze is a player that is on the radar now, and Chelsea have apparently spoken to his agent. And not only that, if Aston Villa sign Nicholas Jackson, who right now are the strongest link is in Aston Villa, and bearing in mind they have got a relatively good relationship with Chelsea. They took Disasi on loan. They tried to take Disasi on loan, and it looks like right now that they're trying to get Jackson, which could unlock a move for Morgan Rogers. Now, Morgan Rogers, Chelsea have been big fans of Morgan Rogers for quite a long time now. So, if this happens, if by some way they sign both Eberechi Eze and Morgan Rogers, are we now saying they're in a title race? Because Eze, Rogers, Pedro, Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, I still think they need to bring in a centre-back of real quality, and I still think they need a world-class goalkeeper. Sanchez had an unbelievable Club World Cup, especially in that final, making big saves. There's a lot of Chelsea fans apologising, but that's now the standard for Chelsea fans. You need to live up to that standard now going forward, Sanchez. You can't just go back to some of the bozo moments you had last season. But we're going to jump straight into it. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video. Guys, your like game at the moment is absolutely obscene. I've seen 2,500 likes on one video, 1,700 likes on another, 1,400 likes on one, 1,500 on another. If we can hit over 1,000 likes, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And if you haven't already, please make sure you go down, subscribe to the channel. Yes, you right there. Make sure you subscribe. 90% of you who watch the content on a daily basis are not subscribed. To help me reach this milestone, it's actually in touching distance now. We're only about 450 away from 65k, which is absolutely obscene. Now, Matt Law is probably the most credible Chelsea journalist. He's always bang on with the news. Chelsea Rangers tweeted out this, and it's a quote from Matt Law saying, "I'm told by people that if Villa do go for Jackson, it will immediately trigger a bid for Morgan Rogers from Chelsea." Now, that would be an unbelievable piece of business from Chelsea, because I'll be honest, I think Jackson is third choice striker. I think Delap is better than him. And I know people are going to say, oh, yeah, but he's only played for Ipswich, whatever. I still think he's a better forward than Jackson. I think based on what we've seen in the small sample size that João Pedro has done in the Chelsea shirt, 2 goals against Fluminense, 1 goal against PSG, I don't think Jackson scores that goal that João Pedro did against Fluminense. I think he has a lot more to his game. Can play in the 10. I don't think Jackson can. He's better out wide than Jackson. He's more creative than Jackson. Jackson may have a better goal record and be a bigger goal threat, but in terms of his overall impact for the team, I do think João Pedro is a better option than than Jackson. And if Rogers, who Chelsea have been a big fan of this guy for a long time, this isn't a recent link. This isn't something that's come out this window. You know, Morgan Rogers has been on Chelsea's radar for, I want to say, well over a year. You know, Matt Law said regarding Rogers, that was on the London Blue podcast, and some account called, who's very reliable with Chelsea news, the Touchline football coverage have put out saying, Chelsea are open to signing a winger and interested in Alejandro Garnacho and Morgan Rogers. I think Rogers is going to cost a lot more. You're probably looking at, in today's market, anywhere between 60 to 80 million pounds. That seems to be the going rate. You know, you look at Buemo, 60 million, Cunha, 60 million, Kudus, 60 million, Morgan Gibbs-White, 60 million release clause. I think Morgan Rogers is better than a lot of those players. He had a really, really good season last year at Aston Villa, both in the league, in the Champions League, in the League Cup, in the FA Cup. He was really, really good. He can play right wing. He can play left wing. He can play as an attacking midfielder. He's a powerful runner. He ticks a lot of the boxes that Aston Villa need. And he's got 70 appearances and he's got over 35 GA. So there's definitely a good player in there. Now, one surprising link that I've seen today is, according to a few sources, Eberechi Eze's agent has been in contact with Chelsea. Now, look, an agent right now, all they are worried about is getting the biggest wage for their player. They're caring about the biggest fee they can command. They're looking at the amount of commission they're going to earn. I still believe he will end up as an Arsenal player, but Chelsea are a club that don't mess around. They don't drag out transfers. They've just got 50 million through the door for Madueke. They've already brought in over 100 million pounds for the Club World Cup. They're a football club that has massive ambition and aren't afraid to spend money. This genuinely could be a real like, you think of the players they could still sell. They could still sell. Petrovic looks likely that he's going to be leaving. They've brought in Estavo from Palmeiras, who looks a player. They're going to sell Renato Vega. They're going to sell Broja. They're going to sell Sterling. They're going to sell Gilchrist, João Felix. There's a lot of players that they could sell this. You've also got, Humphreys has already joined Burnley, Madueke. You look at the situation with regards to Sterling, João Felix. They're going to sell a lot of players this window. They've already got 14 million euros. They've already got, let's say, call it 20 million euros for argument's sakes, for Kepa and Humphreys. Petrovic is looking to be sold for 25 to 30 million pounds. I think there was actually a here we go for that the other day. So it looks like, right now, Chelsea they're in a very, very strong position for the amount of money that they can. Bournemouth paid 25 million pounds for Petrovic, plus the 53 million for Madueke, plus the 80 million or 100 million, I should say, for the Club World Cup. Chelsea's attack, I'm going to bring up an 11 shortly, is going to be absolutely ridiculous in terms of the squad depth they've got. Neto, Gittins, Palmer, Delap, Pedro, potentially Eze, potentially Rodgers. That is a fantastic piece of business from Chelsea. 25 million pounds for a backup goalkeeper that they only signed for what was it, 15 million? So they've profited on that. Now, I just want to bring up this team in a second with the potential of Eberechi Eze and Morgan Rodgers in it. And I personally believe with a stronger centre-back pairing, this team challenges for the Premier League. Look at this team. Rodgers, Palmer, João Pedro, with backups as Neto, Gittins, and of course Delap. Eberechi Eze in the cam, who Palmer can also play in the cam if you want to bring Neto or Gittins out wide. The best double pivot for me in world football in Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. Reece James looks like he's back to his best. He can also invert into the midfield if they want to play Gusto. Palmer did play on the right, Palmer, in that Club World Cup final, sorry. There will still be questions asked about Sanchez and that centre-back pairing throughout the majority of the season. But I think with a stronger centre-back pairing and a goalkeeper, with those signings, that's the team that challenges for the Premier League. Cucurella is one of my favourite left-backs. Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo, brilliant. Eze, we know his qualities. Morgan Rodgers, this could be a possibility because Chelsea have money to spend, guys. They can go out there and drop huge, huge money this window because they're about to get 25 million for Petrovic, 53 million for Madueke. They've already got the money back essentially for João Pedro and Gittins and Delap in the £115 million they got from the Club World Cup. Like, this could be a strong possibility. And this team looks absolutely insane. I'm not saying that Chelsea are 100% going to go and win the Premier League or anything, but that is a team with a stronger centre-back pairing that actually goes and challenges. I really, really believe that, because in terms of creativity, you got Palmer, Rodgers, Eze, Enzo, Neto, Gittins, Pedro. In terms of goals, you've got Rodgers, Eze, Palmer, João Pedro. The lap could quite easily get 20 goals in all comps. And then you've got Reece James, who can invert. Enzo can go to the 10. Eze can go out wide. Palmer can go into the 10. Neto and Gittins can come in. Gusto can go to right back. You know, it's a centre-back issue that I do think they need huge, huge upgrades. I do like Colwell and Chalobah, but Chelsea have aspirations to win the Premier League, and I don't necessarily know if that's strong enough. But make sure you go down, drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you next time.